Hi, my name is Dr. Felucio, and I am a licensed psychologist. And today I'll be talking to you about cultural abuse, which is one of the specialties that I focus on in my private practice on the skill set counseling. And to learn more about my practice or to book a free 10-minute consultation, click the link in the description box, which is skillsetcounseling.com. And so to talk about this topic, cultural abuse, I will first of all talk about abuse in general, and then talk about the connection between abusive relationships and cultural abuse. I'll start off by talking about what abuse in families can look like. So if you think about somebody that grew up in an abusive household or an abusive family, there are certain characteristics that are present. One of them is known as parentification, where the child takes on the characteristics of a parent. So, for whatever reason, the parent is not either emotionally or physically available to do certain tasks for the child. And so they learn to soothe themselves, they learn to take on perhaps physical tasks. Basically, the duties of the parent are taken on by the child for themselves and even for the parent. And so the child um, and the parent basically switch roles. Okay, so that can happen. And that takes on a great deal of, um, it puts a great deal of burden on the child. Okay, so that's one characteristic. Another one is invalidation, emotional invalidation for the child. And so in these kinds of situations, when I say child, I mean, it could be, they don't have to be a little child, it could be just child and parent. So think about it in those two roles. And so the child is not feeling they're not feeling validated at all. There's situations in which a child could be feeling very difficult emotions, and instead of feeling empathy from the parent or feeling validated, the difficult feelings are ignored or they're even shamed for having those feelings. Also, there could be other types of abuse as well. So name calling, verbal abuse, physical abuse, lots of those types of very challenging dynamics are found in these types of abusive families. And a lot of what you'll see as well is emotional dysregulation. And what I mean by that term is that the parents are not good at all in terms of regulating their own emotions. And so that puts strain on the child, and they feel like it's their responsibility to keep mom or dad in a good mood, instead of just enjoying their childhood and having fun. And this goes a little bit back to the parentification. It's their job to keep mom or dad from blowing up and having these fits and going into these abusive rages or whatnot. And so you'll see that as well. You also see a violation of boundaries, and these can be physical boundaries through abuse. And so we see, what I talked about before with um, the physical abuse, but also it could be emotional boundaries as well. So people that have grown up in these types of families will feel that their privacy was often violated. Um, and even though they lacked closeness with their parents, they felt that they didn't have a sense of self that was valued and separate. And so those are some of the characteristics that we can see in these types of families. There's several more, but the role that culture plays with all of this is that the culture is used to say that this is okay. And so um, and so oftentimes as a child grows older in this type of setting and they might see, this is not okay. Why is this going on? Culture will be used to defend these types of actions. Well, this is just what we do. In certain situations, we'll see, perhaps that the parents or immigrants are having to work a lot. And so that might be an excuse that a parent might make in a situation like this as well. I'm working these many hours, I don't have time for this. And really just using the culture indirectly or either directly or directly as a means of justifying these types of abusive behaviors. And so this is what I mean by the cultural abuse aspect of this, is that the child grows up thinking, well, I guess this is okay. We'll even see some of this with comedians. And so if we look at some of, the comedy from people who have immigrant parents, they'll often joke about some of this. But again, we know that humor can often be used to disguise painful and even traumatic experiences. And so I would encourage you to just look on, Netflix sometime and maybe look up, or even on YouTube, here on YouTube, and look up comedy from immigrant parents and try and see if you can detect, did maybe some of these comedians go through some difficult experiences. And so that's some of the challenges that people in culturally abusive experiences go through. And I'm not at all saying that these comedians went through cultural abuse, but what I am saying is that when I've encountered people that have gone through this, they've had some similar experiences. And so again, cultural abuse is using culture as justification for the abusive behavior. It might be saying things like, well, again, this is what we're doing, this is how we do things, or expecting the child to just be grateful that their physical needs are being met while the emotional needs are being neglected. So for instance, sometimes people in these type of experiences have brought up to a parent that they felt hurt about something that they did, and the parent might come back and say, well, I've sacrificed all of this for you, and you are ungrateful for bringing up these things which I think are petty. And so this is some of what cultural abuse can look like. There are several other types of characteristics of this that I outline on my website. And so to learn more, go to skillsightcounseling.com. You can book a free consultation with me to learn more about this, and I'll also be updating the website with more information. So thank you. If you found this content helpful, please click the like button and subscribe, and also put in the comment section if you've had any experiences that you have found relatable for what I talked about, and also what other type of content that you would like to see. Have a great day. Bye-bye.